Battle Factory steps beyond the front lines into top secret factories where combat gear is built for battle. When these delicate snowflake shapes are pressed together, they'll form a piece of headgear that's comfortable enough to wear to war and tough enough to take a bullet. On October 3rd, 1993, a squad of U.S. Special Forces rappelled out of two Black Hawk helicopters onto the streets of Mogadishu, Somalia, in an attempt to seize two enemy lieutenants. The operation went south when the Somalis shot down the choppers and stranded the forces in an overnight standoff that inspired the movie Black Hawk Down. The Special Forces ops were willing to risk injury or worse rather than wear Army-issue helmets that blocked their vision and messed with the communication system. So instead, they wore hockey helmets to the firefight. U.S. casualties were high. A plan was put into effect to design a helmet that soldiers could wear that would protect them in situations like the Mogadishu standoff. By the time troops shipped out to Iraq, the Special Ops helmet had been transformed into a ballistic helmet with mobility, visibility, and comfort. The Special Operations Delta helmet breaks down into two parts: the attachments and the body. The helmet is made from a synthetic plastic material called aramid. Sheets of the material are rolled out onto a cutting table and stacked on top of one another. It's the layering that makes the helmet anti-ballistic or bulletproof. Fibers are so tightly woven that the projectile gets caught in the web and expends a lot of energy trying to push through. More layers means more protection. Patterns are laid over the aramid sheets and cut with a bandsaw. The operator wears a chainmail glove to make sure he only slices through the material. The aramid is cut and piled into snowflake-shaped stacks. The stacks are rolled over to the press. Individual sheets are laid onto a mold in an overlapping pattern. Steamed heat and 150 tons of pressure fuse the layers together to form the helmet shell. Paint won't stick to aramid, so once the shell is complete, an additional paintable layer is pressed on to form the outer surface. The helmet is hand-trimmed to remove the excess material. Holes are drilled for chin straps and rails for mounting optical gear. Up until the mid-90s, helmets hadn't evolved that far from the steel doughboy helmets of World War I. In Mogadishu, Special Forces were more likely to wear cloth caps than to be weighed down with a helmet that offered little in the way of real ballistic protection. When they did wear helmets, they were likely to be $40 adjustable hockey helmets to protect them from banging their heads, not stopping a bullet. So a helmet had to be developed that offered the same comfort as a hockey helmet, with the ballistic protection and utility of combat gear. One helmet from each batch is tested by simulating a worst-case scenario: a bullet to the head. A helmet is positioned 5 meters from an automated 9mm rifle. The rifle is loaded and fired. A bullet travels at almost 440 meters a second, directly into the helmet. And while it does damage to the outer shell, it doesn't pierce it, which means in combat, it just saved a soldier's life. Once the batch has passed the ballistics test, the helmets are trimmed and a rubber edging is applied. Now the helmets are ready for painting. Once the paint is dry, the helmet gets a camouflage coating using a process called hydrographics. The 5-color print comes on a film which is cut to size and placed on the water surface. A chemical spray both dissolves the film and activates a bonding agent. The helmet is dipped into the vat through the print, which floats on the surface like an oil slick. The pattern sticks to the helmet, then a top coat seals in the design. The inside of the helmet is fitted with an adjustable harness, neck pad, and shock absorber inserts. The outside of the helmet is kitted with rails to mount tactical equipment like lights, gas mask, communication equipment, and night vision. All the comforts of a $40 hockey helmet with the necessities of modern warfare. So wearing it shouldn't be an option. It's just using your head.